Flip Side with Jay and Noel. New episodes uploaded on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Listen, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Now, here's two guys in their mid-40s who thinks TikTok is a breath mint. Jay and Noel. Okay, so we are here. Hey.
Where's that intro, boy?
Sorry. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. No, that sucked. Let me try that again. Hold on.
Remember, our audience retention is like 8 to 10 minutes, so you have like less than 30
Okay,
seconds.
guys. What's up? Welcome to the Flip Side. I'm Jason. That's Noel. We are in episode 9.
Yeah. This is the part where you put in the fake sound effects.
Oh, definitely. I will. I'm going to edit all this crap out. It's getting better.
Dude, before we start talking about my shirt and all the other stuff that you wanted to talk about today,
Okay.
You said you were looking at our like analytics or anything like that?
Right.
Or that stuff. So what are your thoughts? Do we say hi to those 3 people that are listening?
Yeah, we actually, surprisingly enough, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Klingons, right? Or nerds?
Live long and prosper? Or isn't it like this? No.
I'm one with my people. Or I
right.
hope it's not offensive or anything like that. I'm just trying to be funny.
That's 5 seconds of my life I'm never getting back.
No, because it's all all convoluted in my head now. Because now, see, I was too lazy to change my shirt.
Jesus
Jason
Christ.
here wanted me to change my shirt because I was wearing pantulog or I literally just woke up like 20 minutes ago.
Right.
19 of which was us trying to figure out my computer again.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So now that we have like 2-3 people maybe listening to us, do I need to change my shirt every time we go on the air? Am I going to get self-conscious now about the stuff that we're going to talk about? That's a problem.
That's more presentable right there, rather than having your shirt with a giant hole in the shoulder. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. And since I was too lazy to change the shirt, I figured I'd turn the AC on because it's a warm day anyway. So,
but isn't it warm all the time anyway?
No, lately we've had amihan here it's been cold, like not like Daly City cold, but
I mean, cold. What does that mean?
Because usually, gosh, we're on Celsius here, so I don't think you'd understand.
Oh,
like us and the rest of the world.
Before we go any further, shout out to a bunch of my old schoolmates from Camp Ramen. Reached out to them and whatnot, and they gave.
You reached out to them?
I did. Well, we're in this group chat in Facebook, like Camp Krame group chat and whatnot. And it's been pretty interesting seeing a lot of my old schoolmates from like, I don't know, 5, 6th grade, or from like 1st grade to 6th grade, basically, you know? And
are they teasing you, spokening dollars?
Well, a lot of the comments that I got regarding the podcast, it's too much in English. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, so
that's the thing.
There you go. Here's the attempt for Wang. One of the girls says, Wang, if you're listening, this is because of you right here. Dahil sa'yo, napipilitan tuloy akong magtagalog. You know?
Naka naman.
Right? But I sound like an idiot because I must... Mas madali kasi pag mag-English.
I'll be honest with you. This is what you sound like. You sound like a Filipino that knows how to speak Tagalog. That sounds like you're pretending like you don't know how to speak Tagalog.
Exactly.
That's how bad your Tagalog is.
No, you're hindi naman sa ano, pero hindi lang ikaw ang nagsasabi niyan sa akin. Yung kapatid ko sa Pilipinas, sinabi niya rin sa akin yun before. Like the last time I saw him, he was laughing at me because he was like saying that you just sound ridiculous.
And then
Kung
on the flip
nagtatagalog
side,
ako.
when you're speaking English, we're both. I feel guilty about this also. When we're speaking English, when as soon as I open my mouth, why am I speaking English? I know how to speak Tagalog. Marunong naman ako mag-Tagalog. Pwede naman mag-Tagalog. But now when we speak English, it's like
Well,
we're
because it's natural for us. Or at least for me.
yeah.
That's my native tongue, you know.
Which
Now
one's
at
your native?
least.
Which?
English.
But your first language was Tagalog.
Tagalog. I say it's my native tongue now because it's what I speak on a daily basis, even at home.
Mm.
You know, because my kids don't speak Tagalog. My wife and I, even though she speaks Tagalog, it's still in English because we're just, it's just normal that way for us. But pag
So now,
mag-Tagalog ako, sa kanya, it sounds okay. But to everybody else, parang ang pangit, hindi naman sa pangit pakinggan, pero mahirap, it's still harder for me. I literally have to think about every word. Like, I know the basics that I understand still, but nung sinabi mo amihan, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? A supermarket? I don't know.
like
What's amihan?
either easterly or westerly winds. One of those winds that's cold. Because the rest of the time, the
Oh,
rest of the
so
time,
amihan is like weather related, like spring. It's a type of weather
no. It's a type of
season.
direction for wind. Yeah, wind season,
Okay.
seasonal wind.
So it's like spring.
Yeah, there's nothing like that there in the West, no, or in the U.S. or any other country. I don't know about that, but yeah, like we
Maybe in
the
Florida because it's a tropical weather.
elderlies here figured out a way. Like, basta it's either inland or out or ocean bound weather.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's the direction of the breeze.
The breeze, not the weather. Yeah, the breeze. It's
Okay.
literally just about the wind.
Right. Right.
It's either going towards land or the wind is going towards the ocean.
Right.
So it's one of those. It's either the wind is trying to go back to the ocean or the wind is trying to go back to land. One of those. But lately, the past couple of months, 2 or 3 months, we've had unusually cold amihan. And then now, I think yesterday, like a drop of a snap of a finger, all of a sudden it's like habagat already. So habagat is the opposite of amihan. So I think there's only two.
What? What's
Hab-
habagat is
yeah.
opposite of amihan.
Yeah, if
Okay.
we Google it, we'll probably find out the answer to if it's westerly or easterly. It's either going this way or either going that way. It's either going to your left or going to your right. One of those. But the majority is, I think, habagat.
Okay.
Majority of the time in the Philippines is habagat, and then all of a sudden, like the cold front. I think cold front might be the right term. I'm not sure what it is in English, but basically amihan is
It might be. I think it is cold front. Yeah, it might be cold front.
right. But I don't know how often cold. I think cold front there is like every time there's weather coming towards the country, right? But here there's only
I don't know.
it's but here it's like 2 or 3 months of amihan, and then the rest of the year is habagat.
Okay.
Kind of
Anyway, my
that's how I
point
understand.
is,
That's how I understand it.
going back to my point, it's mas mahirap. See, now I feel like I'm forced. You know.
Now you sound like the company driver or the family
Well,
driver. It's like you have a whole family there behind you that
right.
you're like their long lost cousin that they sent to America to drive for them.
Well, I'm not trying to be that way though. I mean, like I said, so a lot of the comments that were passed on to me by again elementary school classmates. Camp Crame, class of 1990. Woohoo!
So, ako po magta-translate. Lahat po ng mga sinabi sa iyo, ang ang ibig po nilang sabihin ay
Um, Magtagalog ako. I need to speak Tagalog or more basic, not just me, including you. They're like saying that we need to be a little bit more cautious, or not cautious, but sometimes we need to speak in Tagalog as well, because we have to
tama.
understand and remember we have a lot of a lot of Filipino listeners. You know,
Tama.
I know, tama.
Quickly though, for me, that segues to my point, which is, do we cater to our audience, which is what they say, like if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel or your any kind of audience, you should be catering to your audience in a sense, like look at their demographics, where are they coming from, and then try to speak their language and talk about the stuff that they want to talk about. Or do we start with wherever we started, which was catching up and just talk whatever we want to talk about? So that I was kind of
Well,
joking about it a while ago, but that's where, like, we're sort of on a fork on the road. Do we try to cater and try to grow an audience, or do we just try to be ourselves, and if they go away, then they go away. Who cares? We don't care.
we're definitely trying to grow an audience, but we're doing that by being us.
So that doesn't answer my question. Do I change my shirt when we're on camera, or
Jeez,
can
I
I just be
mean,
on my pajamas?
I think you should still change your shirt, even if we have one viewer. That's one viewer that's looking at it in YouTube.
Yeah, I remember my mom saying something like, "That's respect for your audience or for the person that you're speaking with."
Smart lady, listen to her.
Yeah, but at
No,
the
you're
expense,
just being lazy. That's it.
I know, right? At the expense of authenticity, though, that's the problem. At the
Here's
expense,
let me tell you a backstory, guys. I'm sorry to bother you real quick. So he Noel's giving me an attitude about this shirt right now because I literally had to call him on Facebook, like video call, just to wake him up because I know he was still sleeping. He was, hold on, let me finish. He was about 10, 15 minutes late, basically, because we have an 8 o'clock schedule, which
nine
is
here in the
9
Philippines.
a.m. in the Philippines, 8 p.m. in the US, but he overslept. So I called him. And then as soon as he gets on, finally, he presents himself to me with a ripped shirt.
And I was like, take it or leave it, boy.
Yeah.
No,
At least you put a hoodie on. That's good. Thank you.
yeah, no, and thanks for the story. And I sincerely apologize. I'm trying to treat this like work now. So it segues back to our audience talking about this whole thing, right?
Right.
So now I'm treating you not as my friend, but as my workmate, as my my
Colleague.
co- my colleague. Because yeah, so now that we have two or three people listening to us, and maybe the rest of Camp Krame, your group chat,
Hey
um,
guys. No.
uh, I wanna treat this like work, and then first day of work, I'm 5 minutes late, so my boss is already trying to call me. It's like, "Uy, gising na. We're going to do this." So, uh,
We actually have another listener who I know for a fact has listened to five of like 8 episodes, like completely. So I've been chatting with her. We went to Westboro Middle School together with her.
do I know her?
I can't say her name. She was my.
No, but do I know her?
I think you met her. Didn't we
Okay.
have? We had ESL together, right?
What's ESL?
Like English as a second language.
Oh, okay. I don't
You and
remember
I.
taking. I don't remember taking that class, but okay.
Yeah, you were a grade younger than me, obviously, but she
Mm-mm.
was in that class,
Mm-mm.
and she was my first crush, basically. You know what I mean?
Mm.
In Westboro.
Oh, can you type me her name on
Oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
on our
yeah,
chat?
yeah.
Or
Yeah,
no?
I'm doing.
Or wait, I think we have chat also here on Zoom.
No, but people might be able to see that in Zoom.
I don't think so. But whatever. Sige, send it to me on Facebook. While you're doing that, you should stick your tongue out while you're. Oh, wait. Why does that sound familiar?
Because you know her. You know her.
Wow.
Yeah. I had like the biggest crush on her, and she knows that. I mean,
Didn't I have a crush on her too?
I think so, but I think you stopped when you. I remember this distinctively. Me and her sat behind you. Okay, you turned around and you saw us holding hands. Even though we never dated or anything, we just flirted a lot during class, during whatever,
Wow.
during school, basically. And uh, she listens, because I reached out to her. I was like, "Hey, how are you?" I mean, we've chatted before, but just to catch up. I mean, she's got her own family, she's married, and all that stuff. Um, I reached out a couple days ago. Hey, uh, me and Noel are doing this. Whatever. If you can, take a listen, like, subscribe, whatever. I was doing my shameless publicizing thing. I didn't realize she was going to listen to the whole thing. She was like telling me that she listened to entire episode, and I'm like, wow, really? Well, I don't know if she's still listening now, but just don't
Now,
say her name, okay?
yeah, now that we've been talking about her for the past 2 minutes, and I also just said that I think I had a crush on her, although I'm not quite sure if I could be messing her up with another girl.
I don't know, but I think you did. I know you did because you wanted to sit where I was sitting. I think I can't remember, but anyway, um, that was such a long time ago. But
If I remember that time that I did catch you sort of holding hands behind me while we were sitting in class, I think that was the moment where I realized my day game was just really weak. Like a lot of people, I mean, a lot of guys had like I was just
your your day game. I, I, I don't show
or
title.
I just
Noel's
knew
day game.
or I just knew that I just didn't have it in me to, like, oh, you're holding hands already? Okay. Okay, all yours. Go ahead.
I'm
I'll
not.
just I'll go play. I'll be over there. you know, it's one of those. This is kind of mixing up with what I saw yesterday on Netflix. I'm kind of I caught up with this. I was just watching a little bit of this like tennis documentary, and
That
basically
is the show title, by the way.
which
Noel's
one?
day game. Noel's day game.
Okay. And how professional tennis players, it's like it's a war out there, like it's they really it's practically like an MMA fight when they get on court, where they're not going to be nice to their opponent. There's no space for and you got to have that spirit. And most of these like
Oh
professional
yeah,
tennis players by like 7 years old, they're already like, "Rrr, I want to be a professional tennis player." While me, I was 7, I was still trying to climb the monkey bars. So as any 7-year old, but for me that was my like focus. And I guess I'm just sort of relating it to seeing you maybe holding somebody's hand where it was just not in my radar. Or maybe it was, but it wasn't like enough for me to be like, "Rrr, I'm gonna score."
be
Rrr.
aggressive.
Yeah, and I've kind of just took
Well,
things.
puberty hasn't hit it for you yet.
What?
You didn't hit puberty yet at that time.
Not even. Not even. I don't think I ever have. I'm not sure if I ever have hit
You're
puberty,
still,
but
well, I mean, you got a kid, so
no. But are you? Is like in life general? Serious question though. Are you like? Do you have that like competitive spirit like that? Does that drive you with like stuff that you're going on? Because that's like a key to success, right? For being a professional tennis player or any kind of athlete
what are you
in
talking about?
in life in general. Here's the question: what's your like level of competitiveness as far as success and girls are concerned for anything that you get yourself into. Like for example,
You mean with women?
this this podcast, life, general,
Okay.
women, anything and everything. Just like what's
I'm
your sort of overall competitive spirit as far as like getting it, being
that's tricky. To me, I am. I consider myself to be a very competitive person, but my biggest competition is myself by far. Because my biggest obstacle is also myself. You know what I mean? If you can't
so
overcome yourself, how are you going to be able to overcome
okay.
anything else?
So for this podcast, what are you trying to beat? What are you trying to beat when it comes to yourself?
When it comes to
You,
me,
I mean, you're not trying to beat me. So what are you trying to beat?
I'm trying to be as. Oh man, that's tough.
Like, okay, I'll answer my own question.
That's tough.
I'm just trying to be on time. If I could just do like a 10-day streak where like every time we have a scheduled recording that I'm gonna show up on time, have all my technicalities sorted out by the time by the time
We
we
log on.
scheduled we log on, that's a win for me.
I don't
That's
know. For me, I really don't know. I mean, I haven't really. I'd like to believe that I've been open about myself thus far. You
all
know,
right. That's how we started this. Like why were
right?
we doing the podcast? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I do want the, um, the people to notice and to listen and whatnot. But I'm not going to change our game plan on why we're doing this for anybody else. Does that make sense? If they listen, that's awesome. Subscribe. If they don't, I'm not going to blame them for it, because it's not for everybody.
Okay. So what's our metric for success in terms of this podcast listenership? Like, are we trying to get?
Everything else from where we are now is going to be an upside.
Yeah, but are we trying to score a number of listeners or
Yeah. The goal
what?
is, well, we need to get to at least 5,000. Is my goal, subscriber wise. It's it's a ridiculous amount, but it's the goal. I gotta set a goal somewhere. To me, at least in my head, you know what I mean?
I'm just trying to sound as confident as I am externally than I am internally. That's the reason why I sometimes don't can't stand myself listening to this thing because like of exactly what I'm doing now. Like I'm stuttering, I'm thinking of two or three different things at the same time. Can't really get my point across because I'm already contradicting myself while I'm talking.
But that's the thing, though. You're not. You're not contradicting yourself. You're not stuttering. But here's the problem here. Like I've told you before, you're over analyzing yourself. And what did I
That
say after that? Get over yourself.
that's what I'm trying to beat from myself. I'm just trying to lay my cards out on the table. So for you, you're trying to get 5,000 followers. I'm trying to speak 5 minutes without feeling insecure and
Right, right, right,
unconfident. And,
right.
you know, I was doing this yesterday. I wasn't, I guess it would be nice to tell you. So I went to Bataan yesterday. We had this shoot, right? And
Right.
I figured it's like the last or the second to the last day of us going to Bataan to shoot. So we're going there because we're shooting some ecotourism thing for like the local government or something like that. So I figured, since you know about it, since we've been sort of adjusting
Communicating.
our recording schedule based on my shooting schedule in Bataan. And so you know about it. I figured I'd secretly vlog about my what we're doing there.
Right.
But having you in mind as the audience, because I figured if I'm thinking of like a wide audience, I'd kind of get scared of what I'm going to talk about. But if I'm only thinking about like one person, to anyway, long story short, I put the camera in front of me and I'm like, So we're here in, you know what I mean? It's like I sound like I know what I'm talking about now, but when
Hmm.
it comes to putting a camera in front of me and sort of explaining what we're doing, when I edit the video, it's probably going to sound like I know what I'm talking about because
Right.
I did a few takes. But if you look at the raw footage, I was like, dude, get your shit together. It's like, well, just say it. Like what you said. Like, why are you taking such a long time to get around the point? Just get to the point.
Right.
And it frustrates me because I'm what 43, 44, I think now, and I'm still
Well,
kind of like
that's you overthinking things, though. You got to
not.
get over that hurdle because you
I
know
don't
what?
know.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. When there's something going on, you're always looking at the underlying of it. You can't just take things for face value, meaning sometimes it's as simple as this being this, not necessarily having a hidden meaning behind it or whatever.
Buddha said something like that. If a person can look at a mountain and see a mountain, then he's enlightened or he's on his way to enlightenment, right? Because usually, and can you imagine that he said this like 1,000 something years ago? Like most people, when they see a mountain, oh, we can come up with this, and then we can put up a high rise building there, and do something with a mountain or whatever.
Right.
But if you see a mountain and you just see the mountain and not like come up with like other brilliant ideas, that's you see what you get my point, or
No.
You get Buddha's point. Exactly what you're saying. You just have to see what you're seeing, and
Okay.
not see other things that other potential ideas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You
Then
need to
maybe
be just see things for what it is as it is. There's
Na-
no hidden meaning.
Navy SEALs, I think, were saying something like that also, like the good idea fairy. Like
Good
don't come
idea,
up,
fairy.
like don't listen
That
to
doesn't
the
sound right.
like don't listen to the good idea fairy. It's just like see things for what they are.
Right.
Don't come up with like brilliant ideas because you're gonna get ahead of yourself basically.
Ah.
Exactly what you're saying. I'm just like to bring in other quotes in line with
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
With what you're saying, trying to I'm trying to say to you that I know exactly what you're saying, but there's also still like my other brain somewhere or subconsciously that's thinking, that's not true. That's bullshit.
Sometimes it is, though. You know? Sometimes it is.
Jason's hand is in front of you like that, but you don't know where that came from.
Exactly. Smell it first. Smell it first. That's
I
just gross.
remember something about like in one of these Southeast Asian countries that I was eating at. Something to do, kamayan, pag kumakain sila with just
Yeah.
their
Yeah. Yeah.
bare
Yeah.
hands. So Philippines is not the only country that does that. There's other
No.
countries, obviously, that we got it from. And there was something about them eating like only with the right hand or only with their left hand because the opposite hand comes from the other. You know where the other hand goes. You know what I mean?
Jesus. Really?
Something no 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 something about eating etiquette that they're also eating with their bare hands like
Right.
we do in the Philippines
Right.
sometimes and it's called kamayan,
Right.
but the rule is that you only eat with one hand. I could be wrong about this, but I remember my friend
Don't
telling me
think that's right.
that they're only if let's say if you start using your right hand, don't use your left because your left hand will be for your other business
Right, like holding a glass or whatever, or reaching for another bowl or something. You know what I mean?
or
That
wiping your ass. It's a hygienic thing, not a religious thing. It's a hygienic
oh,
thing.
yeah, I guess that's true. It's like when you're sitting in a toilet and you're using one hand with your phone texting while you use the other two.
See, that's what I mean. It took me like 3 minutes to explain to you exactly what in 3 lines, 3 sentences you were able to explain. So Maybe we should
Okay.
move on with other more
Jesus Christ.
meaningful topics that we
That
plan
was
to talk about today.
30 minutes of my life I'm never getting back.
Bro, if we run out of time or if we whatever schedule, remind me to talk to you about whether in this episode or the next. I want to talk to you about the vloggers that you shared with me, Kulas, Commander Daot, and First
Boy
Time Boy
Pete.
First Time.
Yeah.
I have been jumping into their content for the past couple of weeks that we've been recording and
Wow. Okay.
secretly telling you. And I have like so many questions. And then on my way back from Bataan yesterday, I was thinking, why don't we talk about, like, pretend like if we were interviewing either one of them now, like all these stuff that I wanted to talk to them about. And then I was thinking, why wait until we get them on the podcast? Why don't we just talk about them, like whether they're here or not?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And then if like a and then we can send it to them and like, guys, if you're too busy, we decided not to wait. We just decided to start talking about you as if you were here. But since you're not able to answer any of the questions, maybe you can just reply in video form
Yeah.
or
That's true.
whatever, you know.
That's true.
At least give them 5 minutes of entertainment. So
Right. No,
this is
I
one
think
of
we should dedicate a whole episode on that.
to talk about them, right? To
Yeah. Yeah.
talk
That should
to them.
yeah. That should be pretty interesting though. It's like I guess your definition of a virtual interview, so to speak.
Yeah, like since they're not here, doesn't stop me from interviewing them. It's like
You
I
gotta
don't care.
you gotta move your mic. Your mic's holder is right in
Sorry.
front of you. There you go.
You know, I was trying to keep my face away from my eyes. I mean, I didn't want to be
Your
looking at
camera.
myself. Yeah, because when that Zoom thing popped up, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll keep it there because I don't want to see my face. I'm done. You wanna bring anything else up or
So there's we're gonna segue into this pretty quick. All right.
mm.
I messaged you the other day about I guess there's this thing going on online. It's called Passport Brothers or
Oh,
Passport Bros.
right.
Did you look into that?
Yeah.
This is quite a stir that's going on right now.
A
You
little
know?
bit of the video. Is this like a hot topic right now? Like it's going viral right now, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
viral like a pandemic right now,
Whoa.
or
Did you see
how
that?
long? How long? What?
Reflections on my glasses. That's horrible. I gotta take it off.
That's what I have on my glasses. How long is this? How long has this topic or this issue been going around?
Well, I don't know how long, but I've personally started hearing about it about a couple of days ago, about 5 days ago, right? And it's it's passport bros basically. It's specifically about these women complaining about men going overseas to look for relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm just curious. The passport bros is the issue or the topic itself, or is it a group of people? When you first sent it to me, I thought it was a podcast, or I thought it was like an exclusive masterclass club of
It's
a bunch of guys going overseas to look for girls.
well, that's exactly what that is. It's a bunch. It's what they call these men who go outside of the country to look for
Right,
partners.
right. But
Um,
it's not an organized group. It's just like
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
that's what
It's
I
just
mean.
any random American or white or black
Yeah.
men going overseas, specifically in like Hispanic countries or Asian countries, looking
Mm-hmm.
for partners, their
Mm-hmm.
wives. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's
Mm-hmm.
men in America going overseas looking
Mm-hmm.
for potential wives. You know, and these
Yeah.
women who are paneling with them very pissed off about the idea.
Yeah.
And
Which
to
is
make
exactly what
what?
which is exactly what most of my foreign friends are here for. Just so happens I don't like they're not really like close friends like I could get them here on the podcast or anything like
Right.
that, but scuba diving every now and then back in the days. I mean, I asked you if this is a hot topic now because I heard about this like 5-10 years ago that they come here specifically not just the Philippines, but any Southeast Asian country where they say like the girls are more feminine and they're more family oriented and
Exactly.
they're just sick of the quality of the quote unquote the quality of women that they're getting. And my first reaction as a Southeast Asian guy, a Filipino based in the Philippines, maybe you're just not looking hard enough. Maybe what where have you been searching?
Well,
And
that's what make I actually thought about that as well. But that you have to understand that it's a little bit harder, you know?
yeah, but
Um,
just my point for in fairness to these guys are not like tambay or like losers
no,
or
no, 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 no.
people that don't have any college education or that barely scrape by like I did. These guys are like literally at the top of their game in
Right.
terms of career, like they're managers or they're business
Not,
owners,
yeah, not all of them.
CEOs. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 but the ones that I got exposed to.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
So what I'm also saying is that these guys were you can't just say that these guys were like Al Bundy with his hand in his pants sitting around looking for women.
It's a good reference.
So I mean, I'm just putting a little maybe I'm what I'm just saying is like it was like legit or it was a cause for concern because for them they were like also in their 40s and 50s
Right.
and wanting to start a family.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. Well, like you said earlier, it's been going on for decades, right?
Right,
But it's now
right,
that
right.
when women in the West over here are,
Oh,
I guess they're fed up about it.
or
You
they're
know?
only like they're only picking up on it now.
Well, yeah, that's what it sounds like. If you listen throughout here, but the comments that these women are like saying, it's quite ridiculous. How well? Take a look. Forward down a little. There's when they
Yeah,
start commenting.
and then in one of these reaction videos from a Filipino woman, I think based in Singapore or somewhere like that, but
Yeah,
a Southeast Asian lady that was reacting to it. Did you forward that to me?
I didn't, but I saw. I think I know which one you're talking about. It's she's from Thailand, but she's
Oh,
Filipino who lives in Thailand.
and she says something like, "Well, that's exactly the reason why they're getting away from you
Exactly. It's
because of
the attitude, you know. Like a lot of these guys, I can't blame them for going somewhere else because that lady, the Filipino lady, said it herself that the way they are treated is really what they're searching for. You know what I mean? Because these Southeast Asian women or Hispanics or whatever that these passport brothers are going for, they take care of them, you know?
the
And
sad. Sorry to interrupt, but just as a segue to something else here, I mean, and just to put it sort of into context here, what I'm afraid of about talking about this topic is that we add fuel to the fire. That people are already like pissed off at each other, or the sexes are already pissed off at each other, and then now we're adding our 2 cents into it. I don't want it to be further to get more messy than it really needs to be.
I don't think
But
we are because all these people are saying the exact same thing. All these men in this clip that we're watching,
yeah,
they're saying the exact same thing to these women that they're actually sitting with. You know,
it's
it's
just
it's it's a it's just interesting how it's quite insulting how these women are stereotyping the other women that they're talking about, the ones that are
yeah,
in foreign
yeah.
countries and whatnot.
That's
You
what
know,
I was afraid of. Like, I don't want it to be a fight between the Western woman and the Southeast Asian woman.
right?
That's where it's you got to be careful about talking about these topics, not because it being controversial, but we're just adding to the controversy. Like
Right, right.
maybe that's just my long-winded way of saying it's like, girl, just shut the fuck up first. Just listen before you put your 2 cents into it. Also, because I want to shut up first. I'm a guy,
Right,
and I live in Southeast Asia.
right.
I think you need to like just calm down.
It's I don't like how some of these women in these videos or these clips are commenting how they're they're just getting with these men, literally. Just oh, what is that? What is that?
Southeast Asian women
That
on a plate.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's what most men, especially in the Western world, are chasing after.
Or maybe
Yeah,
another way to put it is that they're like, the sad thing about it is it also sounds like, and this is going to be on the internet forever. But just like if I showed you my Butas T-shirt, I don't.
right.
That's the only reason why I don't want why I wanted to put a jacket on top of it, because it's going to be on the internet, and I hope I don't regret saying this. But it's another one of those things where it's like, can you just shut up and humble yourself? Maybe you can learn something from these women for a second.
Right, right.
Which is the reason why they're all like they're all pissed off in the first place. It's not like they came out of their mama's womb, or the men came out of their mama's womb and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go look for a Southeast Asian woman, or a more submissive woman." That's
It's not even that's what they're saying there. These women are like saying that these other women are just stupid, uneducated, can't speak English. I'm like, are you dumb or even saying something like that?
they're insulted by it. But you know what I'm trying to get at? It's not like these guys or these bros. I was about to say bang bros, but what are passport bros?
Yeah,
It's not like they set out to. They didn't want to get a passport to begin with. They wanted to look around in their neighborhood first.
right.
And then they couldn't find one in their state, and then they couldn't find one in their country. Now they decide to move to another country to find one.
Well, it's cultural differences too, because women here really strive to set it for themselves. You know what I mean? They think that they got to have the career. They don't want to be belittled by thinking that men are powerful. Yada 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 yada. But these other women, they're not like. It's not that they're not like that. They have all of that same point of views and thoughts and dreams and whatnot, aspirations as well. But at the same time, they want to have that bond with a man, and they want to take care of that man. There's nothing wrong with that. They can have both worlds. That's the difference. Here,
Continue while I eat
not a
my
problem. Most
rigatoni
women's
that
over
was
here, though,
prepared
they
for me
just
by my
think that
Southeast Asian woman girlfriend.
there you go. It's the women over here are like just thinking like, okay, if you're going after your career doesn't mean that you can't have everybody else or anything else where you can't take care of your guy. Most women in or in Asia, Southeast Asian countries, they're raised to basic or they're thought to take care of their other halves as well. You know what I mean?
It This topic, and as little as I know about it, uh, just like feminism, reminds me of feminism. I don't know a lot about it, but you know how I think Jordan Peterson, or these guys are going up against feminism, or just basically these people or women or whatever, or even the LGBT community, that they have negative things to say about, that they're kind of
Right.
overdoing it. It's like you were given this opportunity to be LGBT or trans or whatever, but it doesn't mean that you should.
Well,
Like,
hold
there
on.
was this
It's
no, no,
it
hold
it
on. Sorry. I might shoot myself in the foot here, but what I'm saying is there was this Peterson was like in a podcast recently also, and
right.
he was explaining how, oh, basically what I understood was, yes, we have this technology to change your sex, but it comes down to like some doctors even suggesting that, oh, you don't feel comfortable in your body, change your sex. Like, it's like just like that. Like, they don't even go through this long, or no, they do go through this long psychological process of, but it's almost as if hinting like it's almost encouraged. Just go, like jump over the deep end, keep going.
But that's a whole different story though. That's a whole different story. I don't believe
Unless I misunderstood what he was saying, but
yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah. Going
definitely
back,
misunderstood something.
like maybe going back to your point here, and I'll try to shut up and not
No,
put too much of my thing into it, but just my opinion on this little topic here is that the problem I think with not just Western women, or the problem that these guys are coming across with these women, is that sometimes you were given a hand, and then uh you want you were given a piece of bread, and now you want the whole loaf. It's
right,
like, just be happy first with what I offered you. You don't
right,
ask for the
right,
whole.
right.
So, sorry if I went over the rails there with Jordan
But I think
Peterson. I don't mean to misquote him.
no, I think the bottom line there is, from my perspective at least, these men just wants to be cared for. Who doesn't want that? I mean, nice. I love that. See through, baby. That's really, really attractive.
How's my plunging
Jesus Christ.
over the shoulder?
I don't get it. I
Barely
don't
hanging
get it.
in there.
Literally hanging in there.
It's hot. Sorry. Yeah. So what's the solution? It's not like they're going to sit around waiting for someone to take care of
There's
them.
no solution. That's not what's being drawn here. It's just that these women are mad that these men are leaving to go somewhere else to find.
Ah.
You know
So
what I
I
mean?
I misunderstood your point. So it's not about the men. It's about the women reacting to these men.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna get a hot. I'm probably gonna get hated on for saying this. Okay, honestly,
Yeah.
women, treat your men a little bit better. That's it. Not
Was it a
every guys are scumbags. Not every guys are cheaters. Not every guys are deadbeat dads. Not every guys are just whatever. You know.
Were you
Sometimes
conscious? Were you conscious
me.
about? Yeah. Were you conscious about having an Asian or a Filipino wife, girlfriend?
No,
Have you?
Although
Have you?
I've been with a lot of I've been with quite a number of women in my life. Okay, I've only dated or been with three Filipinas, like three.
Are
But
you Jose Rizal, like getting a girlfriend in every country that he goes to, or
I
every?
tried, but no. But I'll tell you this much: I, that
That's a
was
wife check there, guys.
well, I just heard my wife. I thought she was like hearing what I was saying. She's like gonna yell over me or something. Um, no, no, but I've dated a lot of like white women and whatnot, and Filipinos, from what I've experienced at least, treat their men a lot better. I'm not saying every Filipina, but a lot. You know what I mean? And
Generally,
generally, yes, yes. So, but going back to what I was saying, especially in these women and these other podcasts and whatnot, saying what they're saying about why these men are going, don't be idiots. Don't be cruel. Just treat your men better. That's all I'm saying. Be nice. Nothing
the
wrong with being nice.
the sad thing for me is just like how they're reacting to this, to the Bang Bros, whatever they're doing. The sad thing
It's
for
not.
me.
It's
Oh no,
not
sorry.
bang bros. You watch too much porn, man.
The marketing is just like I saw it.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. Sorry. I paused the recording a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah. It's like I saw their ad or their website banner once, and it just stuck in my head already. So
yeah, right. You watch too much fucking porn.
let's get back to the topic here. So
Okay.
passport bros, right?
Yeah. Bang bros. That's
No, but like what you were saying, so it's not about the guys. That's not the issue. It's about the reaction of these girls.
right. It's never about the guys. The guys, who cares? They go out there, they're somewhere else, try to find a wife and whatnot. Now, these women over here, they're the ones that are pissed off. they're even saying to a point where they're going to these countries where women don't speak English. They're uneducated. All they want
Yeah,
to do is suki suki you and
yeah.
bring you
But that's the
over to
thing.
their country.
It's
No.
not about being able to speak English or having a college education or being able to do whatever. It's about, I guess, it's about being able to manage all of that all at the same time, plus have a child.
Yeah, pretty much. You
Because
know?
how you're reacting now is already going to be what it's going to be sort of like when you have kids, when you are a family. Because it's about how you're going to be able to multitask all these situations all at the same time. From breastfeeding to thinking about your man and getting a career all at the same time.
Right.
This
Right.
is just a wrench in your little operation that's going on. But I think what my friends were also saying about these women if is that they just want to focus on one thing and one thing only, which is maybe their career, and they don't it's like they don't have that extra hand to take care of their man anymore, or to take care of the relationship.
Is that starting to become the trend in the Philippines? On
Oh,
the
no, no,
flip
no,
side.
I don't know about the trend, but
But I
just
mean,
react.
the way it is.
No, just trying to share what maybe women can learn from the Southeast Asian women that we were talking about, is that show us that you can manage, or show the guys, not us, I'm not included anymore, show the guys that you can multitask all these issues all at the same time.
Right.
Don't like react to it by saying, oh yeah, but you only like that because they can, or
That's
because
what
they're
I'm saying.
submissive like this. That's not the classy, or the that's not the classy way to react to it.
Right. I mean, like I said, they're just, you know what, in a nutshell, be nice to your guys. That's it. You know. That's these I believe that these men go somewhere else because they just want somebody who's really just gonna care for them as much. You know?
I
That's it.
remember Filipino friend has a Filipino wife. So nothing, there's no cultural thing here. But just to drive my point, the guy wanted to be a successful actor here in the Philippines, and he was already sort of like, he's already like a sort of mini celebrity for us
Yeah.
that's in
Yeah.
the theater industry. His wife is a ballerina. Ballerinas only have, a certain window in their life where they can be professional ballerinas. Anyway, the guy said, yeah, I'm a successful actor, but I can
Right.
put all my projects aside so you can finish your ballerina time.
Right.
And
Right.
then when you quote unquote retire as a ballerina, so, but I think now she's teaching. When you retire, from performing on stage, that's when I'll come up on stage and do my thing. So it's
Right.
kind of like they just give and take. I guess what he's saying is that we can't both focus on our career both at the same time. Like somebody needs to stay home and take care of the kids.
Yeah, and that's the difference though. The problem, the big problem there is a lot of these couples here, they don't, can you hear that?
A little bit, but it's fine. But I
Okay.
guess what I'm saying is that if you find someone that can manage all of that, knows when to step forward, knows when to step back, it's like winning the lottery.
Right.
Or
Right. It's hard to find that here, you know? I mean, the biggest
because you're
problem of how it's done here is because they don't talk about it properly, you know?
because you're encouraged to focus on your career and do your thing.
And
And
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But people can do both.
my point exactly, that's what I was trying to say. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta know when to press on the gas and when you need to let go of the gas or press on the brakes.
Right. Um
Quick apology for my t-shirt. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the audience, but
it's uh it's okay.
that's
Yeah.
where we are. It's the status of my life, story of my life, folks.
So we were just honestly this now that I'm thinking about this whole passport bros and whatnot, it's just It's too simple. It's just too simple, and honestly, answers right in front of you. Uh,
What do you mean by it's too simple? Although I agree with you, but let's try to help them out a little bit.
so these women are complaining that these men are leaving to go find other go to other places to find their partners, their wives. If somebody leaves, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're trying to find somebody that could be submissive for them. They're not trying to find somebody to be a yes woman that will do whatever you ask them to do. They're not doing that. They're not going to go out there and try to find an uneducated woman. They're not going to go, if an American man goes to another country to fire and find a woman, they're not going to try to find somebody that they can't have an actual conversation with, that they can't understand what they're saying, that they can't understand what they want. They're not going to go out there looking for that. They're trying to go out there and try to find somebody that could possibly treat them how they want to be treated. If these men treat, I mean, if these women treat your guys with utmost respect, love, passion, um, going to work or school at the same time, they want to clean your house, they want to cook you food, they want to suck your dick every night, whatever, you know,
What do we call these women that are up against these passport bros, though?
the ones in the Western side.
Yeah, but it's not all the whole Western. It's not
No,
every
no,
Western
it's
woman
not.
thinks this way.
Yeah, it's it's just attitude.
No, no, no. But what do we quantify them at? I mean, if you raise your hand and start complaining about the issue, you're a passport bro woman, anti-passport bro, anti-passport bro woman.
I think they're just haters. Period.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of the Western women would understand what these passport bros are complaining about. And most of these women are probably Southeast Asian women that happen to be based there in the West.
Right, right.
But it's an opportunity to learn, and the what the guys are saying is like the reason why we don't want you is because of this attitude of how you are reacting to what our complaints are.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, they think that it's okay.
It's not black and white, all or nothing, submissive or
No,
dominant.
no. These women think like just because their careers are more important to them doesn't mean that they don't want to be loved as well, right?
Is this a
But
consequence of getting that complimentary participation trophy? Like everybody's a snowflake. You're going to be, you're special.
I don't think it's complimentary. Well, or consolation, or for that matter, if it's a race between two kinds of women from here and there, well, they're winning. If that makes sense.
I kind of treat finding a woman, maybe this will help. I kind of treat finding a woman, for at least for myself, kind of like maybe like like trying to decide on which car brand to buy. Do I get not to say that, trophy women, not that kind of thing, but for me it's
Well,
like which one is
tread lightly there. That's a gray line.
right. Right, I know. I realize that as it's coming out of my mouth, but basically it's like which one is going to help me get from A to B slash, or at least it's not going to complicate my life than it already is.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But to that matter, like, so these women that these men are going after, right? These women are treating their men with like royalty, in their own ways. In return, let me, if your girlfriend treats you amazingly, right? Wouldn't you want to treat her the same way? Right? It's as
Yeah, of
simple as
course.
that. So if here, if you're giving your guy an attitude, he's gonna give you an attitude, no matter what. That's just human nature. As much
Or
as
if
one
it's
might want to believe, otherwise, I don't think so.
or like I said, if it's more complicated than it needs to be, or more stressful than it needs to be, then he'll try to go around and look for something that's less stressful and
Right.
less complicated. Maybe it's as
Well,
simple as that.
that's actually a good segue for here, for me over here, because it equates to the other thing that I want to talk about, like dating in the Philippines versus dating. Come on, dude. You
I
you
gotta
know
give
why I
I
want to?
gotta give something to the visual audience,
It is distracting as hell. I keep looking at it. I mean, it's
Sorry.
so distracting.
You didn't know what you were getting yourself into when you invited me on this podcast, did you?
No, not really.
Are you
If I sat here in my wife beater with a bunch of holes on it, would would you feel the same way?
I'll just look away. I wouldn't even like the more you give attention to it, and this is for those women complaining about it also. It's like the more you bitch and complain about it, the more you put like you're not solving the problem. You're just
You're adding
complaining
on
about
to it.
you're just
Right.
complaining about the problem.
Right.
So unless you're going to send me a shirt
Hey,
to change, or
you know
no,
what?
actually no, sending me a shirt to change is not the even the answer. The answer is to wake up earlier. So the answer is to call me earlier, not at 9:05.
I
Call me at
see.
8:45
Okay. All
to
right. All right.
wake me up.
I'll do that. I'll do that in a couple of days because I know you're probably gonna sleep in again.
Again, my apologies to keep you waiting, bro.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
My
So,
fellow
but
passport bro.
you were probably up all night watching Bang Bros.
No, I was looking at that tennis tournament, that match Breakpoint on Netflix. Looking at that Nadal versus that Italian guy.
Oh, no, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. No. What was I saying? Oh, so I was trying to segue. Dating in the Philippines versus dating in the US. I want to go back to, I think it was like 4 episodes ago. You mentioned you were in a play, but people were like trying to think that you might be swinging for the other team because you weren't courting anyone.
Right. Oh no, I wasn't in a play. I was in a theater
Oh,
class.
Theo, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
But you mentioned you weren't courting anyone.
yeah.
I haven't. I know that that's how a lot of people here don't really do that anymore. The whole
What?
process of dating. There's no such thing as like courting now. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
I mean, I fell into that trap. I used to be not like that. But growing up here and going over the dating process, there's no such thing as courting anymore. It's like if I go out on a date with one girl for like twice, that means she's my girlfriend already. If we don't even broach the subject that, hey, this is going to be our anniversary date, we probably wouldn't even know. Does that make sense? And in
I
the
think
Philippines,
I
they
hear what you're
still,
saying, but
yeah.
no, it doesn't make sense.
Well,
Are
in
you
in the
serious?
Philippines, they go through the entire courting process. Like I don't even know. Like for instance, for you
You
and
see, that's the thing. Like kind of gets convoluted in my head because when you say courting, for
right.
me, it's like I'm trying to get to know the girl. If I want to spend more time with her, it's not because I'm trying to manipulate her and change her mind and make her try to like me. It's supposed to.
No,
It's so courting is also maybe it's non-traditional in my head, but it's like and maybe because I've also gone through enough relationships to realize that I shouldn't just jump both with both feet. But the problem maybe with what you're saying, if I'm understanding you correctly, if that there's no courting anymore, then you're jumping with both feet head first and both hands.
Yeah, it's basically it's like you said, you're courting somebody over there, right? But that means you're taking the time to get to know the person to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
if you want her to be your girlfriend, right?
right. On the
Here,
Western, woman will say, what are we wasting our time for? If we like each other, let's just get right into it.
well, the whole concept behind that is growing together and learning each other together. There's not like I'm gonna spend this certain amount of time first to get to know you and see if I want you to be my girlfriend.
But
Instead,
my point is, do you get where I think they're getting it wrong? That they, I mean, because it also makes practical sense. Like, why are we still going to court each other if we have a different definition of what courting is?
right.
Is my point. For me, that courting period is, I still have an exit. If I realize that I don't like you, I can still exit.
But
But
wouldn't so let me ask you this first. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to go through the entire courting process, or is it from the get go you start dating and then 2 dates in you're my girlfriend type of thing?
that's what I
Well,
mean. If I was in high school, and and
forget high school now.
and
Like for example, now,
all my hormones are raging, of course I don't want to be courting anymore. But now that I've, gone around the block a couple of times,
right?
I want to do the courting thing because, like I said, I want to have an exit just in case.
But there's always going to be an exit. Just because you're dating somebody doesn't mean you're tied in and that there's no exit. There's
Right,
always an exit.
right. Maybe I'm using like strong controversial words, but my point is I want to sort of slowly ease into it, just so that we can sort of move around. It's sort of like a dance, like this podcast. We're trying to, like, dance around each other. I'm trying to find your footing. You're trying to find
Right.
mine. I don't want to be a pushover, but at the same time, I don't want to be too submissive to what's going on. Kind of like that. We're trying to, like, sort of feel each other out, if in a non-sexual way.
If you
But
want to continue on learning that person, is that what you're trying to say?
I'm trying to see if the pants fit.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't know.
No,
See, I'm
wait.
kind of iffy with that.
Actually, I'm a bit hypocritical with my answer, in a sense that actually I actually agree that it's a bit a waste of time if we're still going to court each other. Waste each other time trying
Right.
to, like, show our best foot forward, kind of thing. Maybe that's just the part that I agree with, but at the same time, I just don't want to jump into it in such a way that I can't turn around already. Like you said, like,
Right.
it's all of a
Right.
sudden, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. You mean I can't like that other person anymore who I'm also liking at the same time? Which has happened to me, by the way. I'm courting this girl, and then she asked me, "Are you courting anyone else?" Well, I'm trying to get to know her at the same time, which I guess was a mistake for me to tell her that I'm
Right.
interested in her and the other person. But
Right.
I figured I was like 40 something already when I was thinking that, like, if she doesn't like me because I told her that I like another girl, that I'm interested, not that I'm pursuing.
Well, then that's different.
I see
That's
that face of yours, like,
that's 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 different, man. If you're doing something like that at the age of 40, you're a scumbag.
just gone around the block a couple of times to
I know,
just
but maybe
be
you need to
honest.
keep walking around.
Keep walking, maybe
keep
another block.
keep walking another block. But at that age, if you can't decipher yourself or keep yourself um on a straight and narrow, meaning you go up to a girl and I'm explaining this wrong.
Me
Let me
too.
put it this way. Let me put it this way. When I met my wife, I made a conscious decision that I like her character and her personality enough that I want to spend a lot of time getting to know her. Was I talking to somebody else at the same time when I met her? Yes. And I told her that. But after I did tell her that, I told her I'm gonna stop talking to that other girl. That's it. No more. You know? Because you gotta get to that point where you gotta make a decision. Now, that's the extent of like my courting her. Because the way I see it, I want to spend the rest of I don't know 100% about my wife yet. And I don't think she knows 100% about me. Because
Right.
why that's how that's what the rest of our life is there for, to get to know each other properly. You know what I mean?
Right.
I I could be 50, it could be 20 years down the line and you learn something new about your better half, you know,
Yeah,
which is
bro, I
fine.
can't. I'm looking for my bonnet. Sorry if it's distracting. But yeah, at the fear of digging myself into a deeper hole than I already have, I'm going to agree with you 100%.
Iba lang, iba lang eh. Pero sa Pilipinas nowadays yung what do you call courting anyway? Like
Panliligaw. Nagliligawan.
Yeah, I've actually heard of that before. Um, it's can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Say that
Okay,
again.
no, no, fine. No, I've actually heard of that term before. But yeah, now I don't know if it's still the same way in the Philippines, you know? Nagliligawan pa ba ang mga tao dyan? Like, do they still go through the whole process?
Yeah, I think so for sure. No, no, but of course, of course, we can't say that the whole Philippines is like that. No,
Well, I know.
there's some like subcultural phenomenon that's also going on where there's no courting anymore. I'm sure there's a bunch of high school and college
Yeah,
kids that are
yeah,
doing that. But generally, because, and I say this because we're still, kilig about, uh, stars, celebrity couples
right,
that are, we're still in that intrigue part because we're enjoying the ride. I think, and rightfully so.
right,
Um,
right.
and it's cute.
Exciting eh. Exciting pa rin, right?
Yeah. So I also understand how people are, or even girls are saying like, why bother waste our time with pangliligaw or ligawan and courting if we
Right.
like each other? Let's just get into it. But again, maybe it's a different definition of terms. Maybe it's
I mean, siguro. I mean, I don't know. I think there's still a nostalgic feeling about going through the process of courting, though. I
yeah.
could be wrong. I think if I was to do something differently with my wife, I'd probably want to court her. You know what I mean? And go through the whole process. Because with her, it like I said, it was just really quick. Everything started quick. How long did you
I
do you with your girlfriend with Christine? Christine, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Do you guys live together?
yeah, yeah,
Like she's fully moved in.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Um,
How long
Kinda
did you court her or whatever?
3 days. But that's besides the point. I think the whole idea is really about, again, going about that dance, trying to figure out if we're the right fit or not.
If the shoe
Maybe,
fits, yeah.
yeah. And am I going too fast? Is this too slow? Blah blah blah. We're like trying to figure all of that out at the same time. But maybe what we were saying a while ago, where we just need to, like, it's not about pressing the brakes or pressing on the gas. There's a third option where you could just release the gas and not even have to press the brakes. It's just release the gas just a little bit.
Right.
So it's not black and white, courting or not courting. It's like, and for how long, or what, 3 days or 3 years, doesn't really matter. It's like it's just what works for the both of you.
Right, 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 right.
So what was your whole point again? About why did you bring up about courting?
No, just the differences between courting or whatnot in the Philippines versus dating here in the US. That's basically it. How it's such a process going through the whole thing in the Philippines as opposed to here.
Well, what do I know? But I just have this impression that it's pretty much the same. But I think it comes down
Uh,
to
I don't
what
know.
happens when you're already in the relationship, which segues back or circles back around to this passport bros situation with the girls that are complaining right now.
Yeah, touche.
So, yeah, I kind of think the process of dating is more or less the same because technology and
I guess
all these
now
things that's
it
going
is.
on. But it's what you do inside the relationship or once you're together already that I think is a bit different. Where
No, no,
you
I
know
know what you're saying. It's definitely different. Definitely, 100%. That's why these these passport bros are actually doing the whole process. Of actually going somewhere else to find their wives because it's what's happened inside the relationship that's matters. Instead of getting yelled at all the time, like, pick up the trash, do the dishes. Okay,
how are we
I'll
doing on
pick
time? You
for
you
you.
have 10 you have 10 minutes for me to share a story with you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
10 minutes to tell a story. No, I'll try to get straight to the point as much as I can. But basically, I've there's this experience that I had where, okay, yeah, you are, posting it on Facebook, demanding that we are boyfriend and girlfriend in a relationship together on Facebook. That status.
Well, who's demanding it?
The other person, obviously, not me. Because for me,
Ah,
it's like I post, I don't post, doesn't matter to me. But this person seemed to be so like focused on what other people might think or what our status was or just everything external.
yeah,
But here we are, like we're sitting in front of each other. What's the relationship now?
right,
So, like everything else is just noise. Everything else is just. Bleh. But the bottom line is the relationship. How do we relate to each other? It's not how do we look outside or how do we line our ducks up correctly. That's not necessarily the point. The point is how do we relate to each other? Operative word for relationship is how to relate.
right.
And I
Well,
think that's the answer to the passport bros situation or dilemma or problem is that the relationship, it's all about the relationship,
right, right.
how you relate to each other.
It's yeah. I mean, no, I understand what you're saying. It just it really got to my nerve the the comments that those women were making. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
It,
you
it,
because it's frustrating. You can see the answer is already right in front of their faces. It's like you're telling them don't go in the room
right,
or don't
right,
touch that door.
right,
It's like watching a horror movie and here they are. They still got to go in the door.
right.
They still have to. What's the cliche for horror movies about not like don't go outside or what or don't pick up the phone, and here they are, they can't help themselves, they gotta pick up the phone. So it's watching a bad horror movie.
No, that's true. That's true. Anyway, that's my take on that whole passport brothers or whatever the hell. I'm tired of it
I'm
already.
not I'm not upset at them. I'm sad for them because these passport bros wish and want or would have been happy to have just found a woman in their own country.
Right, right,
It's not like they came out of the mama's womb looking for, a Southeast Asian woman.
Right.
They wanted to find one, girl next door first. Nobody there. Your
Or
state
maybe
and
they
then your
found
country.
one and just won't shut up.
There you go. Straight to
Yeah,
the point.
exactly. I
Or
mean,
found one but doesn't seem to know how to multitask all these things that's going on.
right, right.
Or found one but it's going to make life and career more complicated than it needs to be.
Let me.
I mean, if you're already going crazy about me going to another country trying to find another woman, like how are you going to react if we don't have any milk in the fridge?
Right, right.
Or I forgot to put gas in the car. Like how are you going to react? Is it going to be another fight?
You know what though? Um, I kind of see why these men are. I mean, I can really relate to why these men are going out there somewhere else. Once upon a time, I was in a relationship where I just I was not the money maker in the relationship. Okay, she was making hands over fist more than I was. Right?
Mm,
She
mm.
had a career. I was. I thought I had a career, but it just wasn't paying a lot. You know, and she works a lot,
Mm.
and I'd work my 8 hour shift, be home, and then when I get home, well, I'd clean, I'd do the laundry, I'd fold the laundry, I'd do the groceries, I'd cook, I'd do the dishes, everything.
You knew your place.
Yeah, and I wasn't really saying anything about it, you know?
Did you break up because of that? Did you break up because of you not being the breadwinner?
No. At points it felt that definitely made me feel like it, because at some points she didn't really give me the proper support fee or whatnot in regards to what I was doing at that time. And I thought what I was doing at that time, I was really, really, really good at. I loved that job, to be honest with you. That's another story that we'll get to later. But I knew that her career was important to her and she was making a lot of money, and she was busy all the time and she's stressed out. So to try to make things better, I'd like cook when she get home. Dinner was ready. I kid you not. When she wakes up, coffee's ready. On the weekends, breakfast is ready. I cooked 90% of the time. I cleaned all the time. I'd do the laundry. I'd pick up the dry cleaners. I'd fold the laundry and everything. You know what I mean? And then when an argument comes up where I might say, well, I'm also doing this and doing that, or I spend so much time cleaning the bathroom. And then it's going to get thrown in my face and say, I didn't ask you to do it. Really? Is that, do you not see anything wrong with that? Where you see this other person doing all these things for you, and then you're going to throw it to their face and say, you didn't ask them to do it? How about uh, it's insane. So if I was in that position again back then, yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. I'd go overseas and try to find somebody who would appreciate what I was doing. It
Sounds
may
like you
be a
walked into
little.
a classic toxic relationship there.
It was pretty bad. Um, that relationship should have ended years and years earlier. You know,
Right.
and but I equate to it the kind of person I am in my relationship now. Yeah,
You learn.
exactly, exactly. But
Yeah.
all right.
But that's the thing. Maybe yeah, I mean, I guess it goes both ways for both the bros and the gals that, don't double down on it because you don't hear what you want to hear because what you're hearing is not in your favor.
Right. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. That's really a good way of putting it. Yeah, you can't really double down. That yeah, you shouldn't. double down it. Because then you're just bitching even more, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that makes sense, but I hope it does.
It's for me again. It's sad to. I said it already. You know, like watching a bad horror movie. But yeah, it's like it's sad because and what you said, the answer is already in front of them, and if they could just. But I also understand their frustration. I mean, looking at the clip of these women reacting to these guys trying to explain it to them, I also get what they're saying where it's confusing. Like, you want us to do this, you want us to do that, you want us to do this. At the same time, you know, about paying rent, and then you want to go Dutch. You want us to
Yeah.
help you 50-50 on rent, but at the same time, you want us to do this. Like, and so they're complaining about having to multitask and to take care of all these things all at the same time.
Well, that's a different stuff because most of these women, it's like it's all about them. You know, you get to have this, so you need to take care of this. If you know what I mean.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about as far as I could squeeze that topic dry for myself. It's just
Yeah.
sad though.
I'm topped out with that topic. That's stupid. It boils down to, you know what, women, treat your men better. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hey, I meant to ask though, how long have you and Christine been going out?
couple of years actually. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 years, but somewhere in between.
Really?
Yeah.
And then how long before she move in with you?
You know, one of my first shit tests with her, before, sorry to change the topic, but
No, it's fine.
we
Let's change it
we
already. Tap out on that
we
one.
a quick story. I took her out on a shoot. It happened to be near a beach. We went to the beach. She was, you know, she walked down to the beach, basically got her shoes wet,
Okay.
and then I was waiting to see what will happen, how she'll react to it. And it was kind of like my shit test. It's like, is she going to complain like, "Oh my god, my
My
shoes
shoes
are
are
wet,"
wet.
or like, "Can you go or can you go to the store, to the sari store, and buy me chinelas?"
What? Oh,
Like,
because of the wet shoes. Yeah.
yeah, can you buy me new shoes, or can you buy me slippers or flip flops, or I looked at her and waited what her reaction was, and I think she was waiting for my reaction also, and she realized that I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't trying to be an asshole about it, but
But
I
you
was
were.
just like no. If she wanted me to buy, I would have bought. If she wanted me to, uh, like something. It's like how are you going to react to this
Right.
situation?
Right.
There. That's why we ended. I think that's why I appreciate her, because she. I don't even remember what our solution was. Hey, when you got your feet wet when we were in the beach, remember that first time that we went out? We went out on that shoot, and then she was taking like pictures of the shooting on the side. What did you do to the? Did we buy slippers? What did we do? You just went in the car with your shoes wet? There. So just went back in the car with her shoes wet, not
Wow.
complain. So
Wow.
so I was the one that was trying to figure out what to do next, because she wasn't complaining about it. She just
So basically, you were trying to set her up to see and throw her under the bus, basically.
I wouldn't put it that way, but it just so happened
You
that the
were
shoot,
waiting for her to do some really shitty thing so that you can throw her under the bus.
just so that I could ride the bus and drive away, not throw her under the bus. Just hop on the bus and leave.
What a dick, dude.
And to add more detail to that story, the shooting was, can you believe this, in a squatters area, informal settlers area,
Okay.
right beside the beach.
Right.
So these squatters, these informal settlers, were living right beside the beach, like in a coastal area.
Right.
And so we would go in there with like, and she didn't complain. She just knew what we needed to do and what we were there for. So I
Really?
appreciate that about her.
Yeah.
She's sitting over here. So there.
That's
I mean, I really, like I said, it feels like winning the lottery, or feels
let,
like
can you put her on?
no.
I want to ask her a question.
We're gonna run out of time already. We don't have
Oh,
enough
gee.
time for that.
Oh, excuses, man.
You want to be on camera? Jason is asking if she's going to ask. He's going to ask you a question. Oh, she's ugly right now.
Oh, God, come on.
See,
You know
see,
what?
any other woman would have said, "Oh yeah, what's the question? I want to answer the question right now. Like, tell me all about it." But
What?
oh, and she's ill-equipped right now.
Oh,
She doesn't have her
ill-equipped.
um
Oh, she
what
does. She
what's
doesn't have her jock straps on.
she's improperly dressed, not for the occasion.
Okay,
So,
I got you. All right. That's fine.
what's the question? Let me answer it.
No, 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 no. We will. I'm. I'm gonna get her time eventually, and I'm gonna ask her a bunch of random questions. I got a couple of questions I gotta ask. You know, I
You
want to
better,
know
ano, you better practice your Tagalog.
why.
Magtatagalog siya sa'yo.
I mean, I can understand her.
Oo, syempre.
Oh, so kailangan ko rin mag-Tagalog, syempre.
O, syempre.
Pare, ano,
Oh,
pwede na ba? Pwede na to?
sigang-siga. You sound like you're siga ng Tondo. Siya, siga ng Bulacan.
Oh, is that where she's from? Bulacan?
Yeah.
Bulacan. She's what do you call that? A Bulacanya. A Bulacanya.
Oh. No, yeah, not exactly, but she also lived in Tondo, so
Damn, she's
yeah,
hardcore. I mean,
she's
she's
not.
a what? A light-skinned ass kicker.
That's the thing again with the passport bros, man. She's feminine and submissive when she needs to be, but she's definitely not a pushover.
Right.
But there, just knows when to press the brake, knows when to press on the gas, or just release the gas. It's not black or white. And I'm just trying to
So
check if she.
ask her, what is the one thing that Noel does that is a complete annoyance to her that she just can't stand?
She said she's going to the other room. We'll get the answer to that question on the next episode of The Flip Side.
The flip side.